We wanted to get to the United States. Now that Trump won, we do not know what to do. May it be God's will, since we are taking this course, that we have to arrive, even if it is to knock on the door, to see if they open it for us. I don't know what to do anymore, because we left a very terrible regime. Returning to Venezuela is like being shot in the head. Donald Trump doesn't like Latinos. Donald Trump said he was going to remove all Latinos from the United States, a massive deportation. So now it's going to be harder to get in. There are going to be new laws, new regulations, new rules, and now it's going to be harder for us Latinos to get there. In his winning speech, the president-elect. So I want you to see, this is part two of Latin people or Hispanic people or Latin American people who are who are here from Latin America who voted. Those who voted or thought or assumed Trump was an ally or was welcoming them to the US is doing the opposite of what they assumed he was going to do. So now, as we call it, or we say, things are getting real. Reality is now setting in that this president that some people chose is doing the opposite. And there's a freak out. There's a lot of people that are regretting the votes. This is part two from another video that I uploaded because I was still explaining what I've witnessed so far, or as they say, thus far. And I personally didn't vote for Trump because I knew that this was going to happen. And there were other people who didn't vote for Trump or Elon, and they knew that this was going to be a bad decision. But unfortunately, we have people who assume something different, and now things are getting real and they see that this was not a good choice at all. And he's not just hurting people by deporting people, he's also cutting a lot of jobs from people who are remaining here. So for those Hispanic or Latin people that would assume the people that are here are safe, we also are dealing with something where some of us who are working at certain occupations may end up either having less hours or no hours or have to look at other means of work because he's cutting a lot of jobs. And he's already fired a lot of people or had people fired from jobs. So there's a lot of blowback behind all of that. There's also people who are now stepping up, which I feel they're too late doing. They should have stepped up when he started firing people at DOJ simply because they were investigating the situation that happened at January 6th. When he was doing the blanket pardons of all the January 6th individuals, even the ones who were really doing some serious criminal activity, he let them go from their sentence. I felt like that's when they should have stepped in and said enough is enough. But they just kind of are sitting back and waiting for this chaos to unfold. And it has unfolded and it's getting worse. And I will be honest with you, I don't think it's going to get any better. So what I would say to you is that not all people were in favor of Trump and not all people voted for Trump. And I know not all Hispanic and Latino voted, but for the ones that did, those are the ones that now severely regret the decisions that they made because they see the impact of how this administration is going, and it isn't going in a good place. It's hurting a lot of people, and I'm just saying this. When I was on Twitter, I was on X, I had deleted my account. I still see like a phantom of my account, but I'm not on there. Elon was controlling my account. He was probably controlling other people's what they if you said anything that had anything to do with what he calls quote unquote wokeness or anything that speaks the truth of abuse of power, he would manipulate what you'd say and send it to another like site. He'd make a like another account and he would funnel it there and then you wouldn't know where it is and you had to search for it. And so he did a lot of doing that to my account. And so I just said, let me get off of here. And then when I would make truthful comments or I would get really deep into how I felt about politics, if it didn't align with their beliefs, they would manipulate what you say or how you said it, or they'd have people on there who were extremists who would flag your account and say, oh, they shouldn't say that. And but they can go ahead and do all of their Nazi symbols. They can do all of their hate symbols. They can say all their hateful comments. And we see that in real time happening. And so it's an unfortunate situation. I was made aware that they're doing so much cutting. There's so many executive orders, a flurry of them that have come out under this regime. Also, I was made aware that financial aid might be on the chopping block. If not, it is. I was reading an article that was saying that financial aid in the future under this Trump administration may no longer be. So that's going to affect millions of students who are now receiving financial aid and those in the future who want to go to college. And let's say your parents or you don't make a lot of money and they don't just have a whole lot of money saved up for you for your college expenses, and financial aid kind of helps with that. That might not be a thing that you can turn to in the future unless they have like maybe create some kind of programs where they have scholarships for students in the future. So what that's going to cause is a lot of young people to decide not to go to school because it's going to be too expensive, or they're going to have to work to go to school for each class. If you just look at the catalogs in college catalogs, how much units cost just to take one course. Check USC out, how much it costs for 3 units to just go to one class at USC, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And if you don't have those programs in place or scholarships or any other grant programs, and they're cutting all that funding, then what do you turn to? You either give up and or you go to like maybe like trade schools, and those you might end up having to pay for under this Trump administration, because everything they want people to do is spend money and not help anyone with grants and other little opportunities that we've had so far. And so I feel that that was really alarming when I saw that. I haven't heard anyone speaking on that, so I thought I would mention that. So financial aid is in danger. I heard Medicaid could possibly be in danger. I heard people worried about Social Security being an issue and possibly being in danger. So I feel like now that people are looking at all of these things ramping up in 50 states, they've already deployed ICE agents. So I think now people have gotten wind of what is going on, and people from abroad, you heard those men saying that they're still trying to get over here, but they're hoping they can get over here. Well, I say to them, don't even try to do it, because they'll just send you back. And then this is not me saying this to them like, oh, they'll send you back in a mean way. It's the people who are running or supposedly running the country that are the ones that are the tyrants that are sending folks back. No matter whether you're good people and you really are trying to get away from a horrible, like I said, some people are trying to get away fleeing violence. There are good people, but there are people who might have, that happens in any culture. There's people that take advantage of the ones who are doing the best that they can to survive and live and work and make an earnest living. And then there's others who try to take advantage. And that can happen in any culture. It doesn't matter what background, nationality you're from. But seeing what's going on, I think reality has set in. I saw a video where Hispanic people, I believe it was a Cuban group, they were dancing on stage. You could see the flags in the background. And I believe this was during the campaign time when Trump was running for president. He used their votes. And I'm seeing videos saying that he used their votes, and he used a lot of their votes so he could get in and do the horrible things that we see taking place right now. And so that's a commercial. um, and so I'm going to play again after this commercial real quick so that you can see the migrants, even the caravans that were coming over. It was a lot of people. A lot of those people, they learned, and probably people were letting them know, family members that were here were letting them know, don't even come because they're deporting people and putting people in camps. So take a listen.
We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country, and we made history for a reason.
For migrants who use social media platforms like Telegram to track the U.S. immigration policies, the election outcome has dampened their hopes severely. Several expressed frustration, with some saying that had there been a woman president like Claudia Sheinbaum, their lives would take a different trajectory.
I wanted them to elect a woman in the United States elections just as we did here. That way they would have seen eye to eye because Mr. Trump...
That would have been Kamala Harris.
Now, throughout the campaign, Donald Trump vowed to complete his border wall and deport millions of illegal immigrants. He's even promised to hire an additional 10,000 Border Patrol agents and impose tougher restrictions on asylum.
So in order to meet the goal of hiring 10,000 new agents, we need the agents. We need them badly. And keeping our incredible veteran agents on the force. Don't leave us.
A post-election YouGov survey shows that Donald Trump has the support of 53% of Americans on immigration matters, compared to just 45% for Vice President Kamala Harris. As of now, the reality for migrants remains uncertain as they weigh their next steps, with many deciding to give up on their chances of crossing into the United States.